trying to record. I'm going to have to stop this again.
Welcome to Auntie K's, your favorite radical, queer, indigenous auntie, bringing you tarot every day.
So, the life of a tarot deck reviewer. It seems like the job, the role, the position, the opportunity, every tarot deck lover wants to have. I get to review tarot decks. That means I get tarot decks that I don't have to pay for, that I get to look at, have thoughts about, comment on, and use, and use, and use, and use. And so it seems like this dream role. And the truth is, I wouldn't trade it up. Amanda can rest assured over at Indie Deck Review. I am here for the long haul. I happy to be doing this, but it's not all perfect. So let's get into how it's not all perfect. So first off, one of the things we're going to talk about is what you are going to see clips of throughout this video. And that is when you get a deck that either you don't like it, you hate it, or out. A little bit harder. You really, really wanted to love the deck, but you like it. You like it. You're going to use it. You hope that means you're going to like it even more, that you're going to find the perfect use for it. But all the excitement and anticipation of that deck arriving, whether you bought it or reviewed it, you are anticipating. I guarantee you, we are anticipating. And there's this extra level of, I really want to love it, because we all got to tell you if we don't, right? So it arrives and you like it. Well, you know, I'm a big fan of, you know, conscientious. I'm a big fan of thinking about what I'm buying, being careful about what I'm buying, thinking about where I'm putting who I'm giving my money to, where my money's going, and also, you know, am I buying this because FOMO, you know, a fear of missing out, or, you know, I gotta have it. I just gotta have it. So everybody else has it. So peer pressure, fear of missing out, almost the same thing, a little different. I like to pride myself on not falling into that. What I do fall into is, well, since I didn't love this deck, I'm going to find the deck that I do love. Yeah, that is one of the consequences of tarot deck reviewing, is when you don't fall in love with the deck and your weakness is, I now have to fill the hole that wasn't satisfied the way I wanted it to be satisfied. You scroll Kickstarter. So what you're looking at is the video of me, you know, scrolling Kickstarter in this process of, but I didn't love that deck, so I want to find one that I love, and this deck's kind of cool. I'm attracted to this deck by the color, and I really like it. You know, one of the things I look at, like, the humans might not be the people might not be human colored, but what do their faces look like? Are they European looking faces? Do the faces show me features from around the world, or only from one area of the world? And all too often I see a lack of variety in faces. So that's how I use a screenshot to zoom in on the Kickstarter when I'm on that mobile app and you can't really zoom in. I screenshot, and that's how I zoom in and take a look at those annoyingly tiny photos that, I, like, animal decks aren't my strong suit. So, and you see me scrolling past all these amazing Oracle decks because you know what I realized? I have plenty of Oracle decks. I think they did another one. And I didn't get it for that same reason. Like, I really love the artwork and the color, but I want to see diversity in facial features, even if they aren't humans. Probably like, yeah. I think it's like, doesn't matter because they're not human and they don't even have the same skin. Well, it does matter, actually. So here you are, writing your tarot deck review. One of the things we learned was the compliment sandwich. The cardstock is really lovely and thick and feels great to the touch, even though it sticks like chewing gum. Okay, maybe not like chewing gum. Even though it doesn't slide very well, I so appreciate the luxurious feel. People will go for that. They're going to be pretty good with it. What I didn't like about the deck was the lack of context and thought put into the use of historical images. These images in the context placed within this deck can be really disturbing for marginalized people. This is where somebody comments that I shouldn't review it if I'm not part of the white majority because then it wouldn't offend me. You know, there's that aspect. And certainly we face that aspect where, you know, people are upset that we found that the deck wasn't diverse as people of color, or that as queer people we found the deck to be cis and het. And even if, you know, a reviewer is, you know, not marginalized and still is like, oh, by the way, this deck, it's not diverse or it's tokenizing. You know, there's an aspect of people who get upset. But the part of it that's really disturbing is when this happens. This deck was full of racism. There was zero body diversity. This deck glorified slim, able-bodied white people. The language of this deck was almost purposefully exclusionary. And everybody's like, are you just looking at my pictures? Why are you pinging this post? Love, heart, heart, thumbs up, thumbs up. I so want that. Did you read my review? Did you read my review? There's certainly far more things to comment on a tarot deck. Sometimes you get a tarot deck and you're like, I really like the images. This deck's pretty cool. I like it. You know, the guidebook sucks, but I like the deck. And so then you're writing the review. You're like, damn. It is a good deck. The guidebook kind of sucks. What's the creator say? Oh, the creator says, I did not write this to be a guidebook. I'll let everybody know. Did not write this to be a guidebook. Everyone likes a review. I'm like, whew. But then I start to panic, right? You know, I'm writing another review. I'm not going to tell you probably that my reading was meh, or should I? We're just gonna, keep taking these little breaks where this is part of life of a tarot deck reviewer. Every time you're disappointed, you're looking to fill that hole, and that's not going to do it. No. Yeah. Oh, I like this one. I've got hours to decide. Crap. Oh man. I do like this one. It's a lot of border, even though it's artistically perfect. I'm going to come back after I've done this, which hopefully isn't that's a good price. Like, actually, it's a lot, but it's not. Oh, man. Okay, when I get back around to this, it better not be too late. I've seen this somewhere. I think I follow this person on Instagram. So this is a new printing, a second edition, a new edition of The Forger's Daughter. It's a color difference, I think. New card backing, borders, yeah. It's basically a color difference. It's nice, but I don't really think this is my deck style. I don't want black and white. Oh, pretty color. No, oracles, no. I have this feeling I'm going to have black and white. Yeah. I'm a color person, I really am. And that's part of what I'm looking for. Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. This looks promising. Maybe I find something in this one. Okay. Nope. Maybe. Or, you love the art. This great art. The guidebook. It's great. It's great. But maybe not all great art is a perfect tarot image. And your reading was kind of meh. You had to work really hard for the reading. Those are the reviews. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to talk about the positive things about the cards. But then I read the review and I might as well be saying, buy this fabulous deck. I love this deck, because you're reading my review and you're like, oh, Auntie K loved this deck. Totally love this deck. That's awesome. Auntie K loved this deck. I like the decks Auntie K likes. I'm going to get that deck. But I didn't like the deck. Am I supposed to tell you that the beautiful deck gave me a meh reading? Because then there's also the maybe, other people think it's great to read with. Maybe other people really do think it's wonderful. Or maybe, my skills just aren't up to par for this style of art. Or, I don't know, all kinds of things. What are you supposed to say as a reviewer when you like the deck and you like the guidebook, but it didn't really give you that great of a reading? That one becomes a really hard call. It just becomes a really hard call. And then I don't know what to say. And, I'm still scrolling Kickstarter. Oh, yeah, we're not done, people. We've got another one that we're going to look at here together. All right. We're going to Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. I'm looking at it. We're going to take a look at the pictures. And, I have an issue when Indigenous people are like 1800s. No. 2. both indigenous people. It's a collage deck. It's all I could find. Oh, man, I want that oracle, but I don't want oracles. I have lots. I'm happy with my oracle collection. Which woman in total control? No. The Next Gen Tarot. It's a diverse tarot. Diverse tarot. Let's see. Where's the diversity? This is going to be... We're diverse white people because we're queer white people. And that makes us diverse. But we're going to forget about everyone else except for a token card or two. And this just adds to my deck buying. Yeah, no. This is what adds to my deck buying problem. This is what adds to my review problem. Because, like, this is me trying to find a deck to buy. And I'm just pissy. Because this is why I buy oracle decks. Because it's kind of easy to find an oracle deck. I don't want group artist decks. Mystery Witch. I want a witchy deck, not Halloween, just witchy. And I love bright colors. I don't know if I'm really seeing any diversity here, though. Because, you know, witches. You know, that's just such an annoying piss off. Like... You know, you find a few decks that appeal to you art style-wise, and I just skipped some. Okay, that's where I was. No, isn't that like the image from Lightseers? Yeah, that's the image from Lightseers. Two. Yeah, but I don't want just plain black and white. Absolutely, I don't. Oh, this is colorful. It looks like it's just women in fancy dresses with flower backgrounds on. I don't know. Sometimes I like people and humans in my tarot decks, but sometimes there's too much people and not enough rest of the story. Let's look and see. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There's some diversity. I don't know that I'd end up being all that happy with it, but because I'm not actually really drawn to the art. How about that's black and white? I don't need oracles. I'm not a dog deck. No. Oracles, stop showing me oracle decks because I buy oracles. I have plenty of oracles. I'm happy with the oracle decks. Here's a tarot deck. Black Silk Tarot. I have a feeling it's going to be this. Very, very minimal. What is this? Handcrafted ink. Mexico City. It's just not my style. I'm not looking for a black and white deck. Living color. Living color tarot. I like bright colors. If you haven't heard, I have this rainbow puke aesthetic, but I don't actually want an animal deck. Man, is it going to be that difficult? Oracle. Game. Tools of the Titan. Gold Moon Tarot. Major Arcana. I'm into getting a majors only deck. I actually sometimes just take the majors or majors and quartz. It's kind of got like, you know, Magna kind of art feel, Japanese culture of which I am very passionate. So, you're just very passionate and inspired and going to culturally appropriate our view from this background. Who are you? Gold Moon Tarot by Daisy, oh, there we go, Igoroso, who is not Japanese, from what I can tell so far. Let's look at this website. Yeah, this is the deal. This is part of deck buying. Yeah, no, white girl. And deck reviewing for me. Appropriation. Stop calling it appreciation. It's appropriation. Now, I'm all cranky looking for decks to take away the disappointing feel of liking and not loving a tarot deck. Then I get a deck I love, I adore. I'm so into telling you all about it. And I'm like, you must be able to tell I love this deck. I said, I love this deck. This deck was what I was looking for. This deck was what it promised me to be. The readings in this deck were great. And like, no one's interested in a review? Oh, that part I blame on algorithms. It's way more interesting to the algorithms when we said this deck was racist. I don't know why you're all more interested in my meh reviews than maybe in my meh reviews, I spend so much more time trying to compensate for this was just my personal taste. So I just need to tell you about the deck so you can make your own personal decisions. Maybe I end up doing a better review for those than the decks I love. I don't know. And then, of course, I had to do the whole getting set up for that review that you wanted, right? Like, I had to get the deck out. And I had to go through this big box you're about to see on the screen. You know why I had to go through this big box? Because I took this deck that I was going to review and I looked through it and I kept it in order, or I didn't, and so then I had to put it back in order, which is totally going to suck because you're going to be able to tell that I shuffled because it's not going to line up quite as smooth as a brand new deck, and you're all going to be able to tell that I already shuffled it before I did this. And I threw that box into, that bucket of boxes that I showed you. So I have to go and dig that out each and every time I do a review. I got to get this set up, right? And I have to decide what on earth is going to be my background fabric for you all to look at. Is it going to be this? Was this fabric good? Is this the fabric I'm going to go for? But what were my favorite cards? How do I know which card was my favorite? I did really like that. I like those ones too. That was pretty... sometimes I end up finding you know what? I think I like the coins more than I think I like coins, because then I sometimes find that I've picked 6 coins cards out of 10 or 12 cards, and I don't know which one I'm going to do, and what if, like, the ones I'm choosing aren't necessarily the ones that you really want to see. I chose my favorite ones, but were they ones that were expressive? Were they just my beloved color puke? Or did I choose them because they're going to tell you so many things that you need to know about this deck that I didn't think to tell you? Did I make sure you noticed all the coins? But also, this guy's pretty cool. Should I show you the cards I didn't get? Maybe I need... Oh, but I also really liked her. How are these going to match up? Some of these cards, I truly didn't understand at first. Do I put them in there and let you decide? Lighting, get the kids quiet, make sure everyone has their needs taken care of. And then I set up for the photos or the video. I really do put a lot of time and concern into what I write into only 2,000 words in a review, or what I say about a tarot deck, especially when it's really my first impressions. What if I loved a deck and you went out and bought it in 6 to 12 weeks? I don't even like that deck anymore and I got rid of it. Or what if I was telling you all the qualities of the deck to avoid telling you that my personal taste I just didn't like the deck. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't racist. It wasn't, homophobic. I just didn't like it for personal reasons. Do I tell you that or not? I worry a lot about those sorts of things. And then there's the other aspects. That worry has another direct impact as I was sitting thinking about the decks I've reviewed and the decks I'm purchasing and the decks I'm bringing in and what I want. I have, I'm going to move this so you can see. I have a great selection of Oracle decks. I don't feel any need for Oracle decks. In fact, to the point where I was like, when I was doing my latest scroll, I was like, well, I don't even want to open up Kickstarters for Oracle decks and look through them because I don't need any Oracle decks, but I do need tarot decks. And my need for personal tarot decks is I only need a few personal tarot decks that are the ones I'm pulling out from my personal readings all the time. But I need more decks for clients than I need for myself. And the criteria of decks for clients, not only does it have to meet my needs and I have to like it and I have to like reading with it, it's going to have to appeal to all my clients. So Mystic Medleys was, I really enjoyed this deck. I quite like it. And you know what? It is easy to read with and it's really cute. But the cuteness means I don't know if this is appropriate for all my readings. Right? And I have another deck I really like, but it's a bit more of a workout, so I don't necessarily want to always put in the extra work. I want to be really certain when I'm reading for a client. Or some of them just don't necessarily show up great on video, and so then it's not the most ideal deck. And so I choose decks to review that I feel fairly certain I'm going to like. And I feel more certain I'm going to like and use more. There's more Oracle decks I feel that certainty towards than tarot decks. But the collection I want to actually increase is my tarot decks. But my fear of disappointment and my fear of being seen as the angry native who hates all the decks, means I'm a lot more hesitant going after the decks that I really do want. And so there you have it. Another aspect of tarot deck collecting is the wrappings. You've either given me fantastic environmental wrappings that are going to help me get the fire going in the morning in my wood stove that heats my home, or you're giving me plastic that I have to get in my garage and store till I get a trip to the dump once every month or two. What I'm really confused about is those of you who give me environmental packaging, and when I get through all the environmental packaging, I have shrink wrap on the inside. What was the point of all the environmental packaging if you were going to shrink wrap the damn thing? Packaging. Also, I have a really close relationship with the post office as an aspect of my life as a tarot deck reviewer. And, you know, my last two addresses were in really small locations. I got my mail in Maple Leaf at the corner store where we get groceries and mail and clothes and paddles and snowshoes and liquor. And so that's where I used to pick it up. And so then, you know, like in my new place, recently I got a text from Pam, the post office lady, saying, you know, your friend's late picking up the mail. Tell her to ring the front doorbell and my son will give her your packages. So these are adorable things about deck reviewing, but, you know, people see the girl who gets all the mail all the time, always get a new mail in, new packages, never seems to have any bills come in the mail. Just packages and packages and packages. What does she do? Sit at home and shop? I tend to tell folks that not just a tarot reader and creator, but also a reviewer. And that's why all the decks are coming in. If I was a collector without an excuse, not that you need an excuse to collect deck, folks, but, you know, the scrutiny in small villages and hamlets when you get so many packages coming in the mail all the time. So that is another aspect of life as a tarot deck reviewer. So as you're learning in this life of a tarot deck reviewer, I had this fear that, oh, here we go, by Vika Tarot of the Fae. No. Damn. I have this personal fear, possibly it's similar to, related to imposter syndrome. Interesting colors. Based on not liking enough tarot decks, that I dislike more tarot decks than I like. So when you go and piss me off with some cultural appropriation, it makes my scrolling for tarot decks pick me up. Not a very good pick me up. I don't think I'm super into this deck. I'm not seeing a whole lot here. We're going to get a bit better of it. Let's take a closer look. Just artistically unimpressed in this particular case. Sorry, person. Starlight Divine. That looks like it's just graphics printed out, like line graphics. I don't actually need a relationship tarot deck. I just got one. I didn't know No. You know he's getting a relationship deck. And, but it is, I think. I've only used it a couple of times. It's a good deck. It just wasn't what I was, probably not actually my deal. It wasn't what I was looking for, but it totally has a use, that I need it for. And I did want something else to fill the hole it's going to fill, from what I have. So maybe I should be satisfied with that. So I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. I hope it was fun. I'm never really sure if I'm fun or not. You know, there's a side to me that really quite likes adventure and, you know, it can be pretty wild, I guess. But there's also this big nerd side of me, and I'm like, was that funny? Was it funny for you, or was it just fun for me? But I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, please don't forget to do that. Check out my Patreon and my Discord. I have a full Discord where there's channels for everybody to come and join and engage with me and my life as a tarot reader. And also there's special channels for folks to get extra content if they're part of my Patreon. And also, if you are somebody who gets regular tarot readings or is interested in any of my other services on a regular basis, some of the more popular services are also available via Patreon. And, you know, you can get a reading a month as a Patreon tier, and I send you the code and you book in your reading. You can be part of Tarot Party as part of a Patreon tier and know that your spot in Tarot Party is there every month. In Tarot Journal group chat, all 4 weeks of Tarot Journal group chat every month, and that is available to you. You get the link through that Patreon channel to come and join Tarot Journal group chat, paid all at once every month, and it comes out directly. So do check out all those options, because I'm trying to move away from Zuckerberg's social media and his negative algorithms, and trying to create content that will make the algorithms happy, so you all will see the content that I hope you also want. Now I only have to do content that I want to give you and I hope you want to receive. And I don't have to worry about the algorithms. So I'm trying to make that switch. And I really encourage other folks to also, you know, if you have a Discord, tell me. I'll come join your Discord. I'll come follow you there off of Zuckerberg's various social medias. I'm still on them, but I'm moving away, and I have big hopes that I will be able to leave those platforms behind and just be on YouTube, Discord, Patreon. That would be ideal. And of course, my website. Also, head on over to Cardinal Traditions, and that is cardinal-traditions.shopify.com, and you can pick up one of the copies of the Landback Tarot and Oracle of Colonization. They are on sale. They're in a limited quantity. How well that sale run does will determine how I feel about doing another Kickstarter in the new year. And also, I'm working on a book, which you can learn more about on Discord. See you all later, folks, and have a great time. And I realize some of you are all seeing it on Discord as I plug Discord and Patreon. That's because I'm airing it for you folks first, and then my YouTube subscribers will get it next. YouTube folks, come join me on Discord. See you later.